Kpop the CORK!
Yeah!
Yay!
We're wearing matching sweatshirts.
I made them. Don't go to college.
To your dreams coming
To
true.
your dreams. To your dreams. All right, so for this episode, we're going to transition nicely from our Prosecco into a more alcoholic drink. And so we're going to make a twist on a French 75. We're going to make a soju French 75.
Ooh.
So normally a French 75 has champagne, gin, some simple syrup, and a little bit of lemon. But what we've decided to do is we're going to use this citron flavored soju. Never tried it before. It's from Soon Hari Chungcharam. And citron is like an Asian citrus. So we're going to try this. And I'm not a big drinker in general, so like I don't have shot glasses or whatever. But we're just gonna taste this first.
It.
Well, I'm gonna taste it first.
Okay.
That's nice. Very refreshing. Okay, so we're gonna put the soju in first. I'm gonna put like, I guess that's 2 fingers worth of soju.
This is a dangerous show that we've started here.
Yes, it is, but it'll be fun. All right, and then we're just gonna top it off with some champagne. We're gonna finish off this Prosecco.
Most of it ended up on the floor in episode 1. Go
That's
back if you didn't watch it.
I gotta open up a new bottle now.
Oh, meow, meow.
This is our lovely Costco Prosecco. We love a Costco.
I do love a Costco.
Costco is great for everything, especially for your wine needs because it's only $7 a bottle.
Truly.
Costco, sponsor us.
Costco sponsor us. But for real, I cannot buy liquor anywhere but Costco because it's just stupid.
When something is $7 a bottle, why pay more for it? It's like, why it is the reason I will not order soju at a restaurant because it is $13 a bottle minimum at a restaurant, and this was $4 at the actual Korean grocery store. Do not buy soju at a restaurant, people. It's a fucking ripoff. Okay, buy it yourself. All right, let's see if this one explodes.
Oh.
Kpop the CORK!
Yeah!
Yay! All right, and because I just want to do something a little extra, I'm going to cut us a lime.
Yeah,
juice
let's
and
do it.
Splash it in there. Because why not?
Gotta roll it, get the juices flowing.
Exactly. Ooh, look at that nice lime. I don't know how to do cooking shows. Ooh,
My mom always makes me at her Christmas Eve party every year. She always makes me cut limes because I went to bartending school and they taught us how to cut limes. So she's always like, you have to do it.
That's funny. And do you cut limes in a special way?
Well, you cut them in half different than you did, like the
other
lateral
way?
half or whatever, and then it's easier to cut the little wedgies.
Womp,
Womp, whatever. It's fine. All right, we got our drinks ready for episode 2.
Here we go.
Welcome back to
Kpop the CORK!
We are on episode 2 of your Kpop Confessions.
Yes, this is the show where we read your submissions to a prompt while drinking our favorite drinks. So we are reading out your Kpop confessions. We have organized them from least to most embarrassing, and we are now solidly in our 4s, 5s, and 6s. So we're in our mid-range right now.
Mid-range of embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
So
mid-range of embarrassing with a mid-range cocktail, our French soju 75.
yes.
Let's taste this first.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's truly not
That
bad.
is refreshing as fuck.
It's very citrusy.
But it's like smooth. Like really can't
smells
taste
very
the
good.
alcohol in that sense. Yeah, that's delightful.
Can't taste it, but I am feeling it.
So let's get started with our next
started.
Kpop confession.
All right, this one is rated as a 4, as previously noted, and it says, I frequently have dreams about various members of EXO and Stray Kids. Nothing too dirty, but they're definitely not PG either. have, if you are not a member of our Discord, we have a K-pop Dreams channel in our
we
Discord.
do?
Oh, we do. And people post their K-pop related dreams every day. And yeah, I'm not immune to K-pop dreams. We spend all of our time thinking about this one thing.
Totally.
Obviously, it's going to slip into your subconscious.
Sure. I have had some of my most vivid dreams have involved K-pop idols before. I remember specifically one that had to do with Chanyeol. I like wrote it down the next morning because it was so strangely vivid. And I remember a specific part of it was us like being in an elevator together.
Yes.
And I can't remember the details. I wrote it down. But yeah, it was very vivid. And sometimes you just wake up and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why? And I honestly, like, I prefer the days when I don't dream at all. Because when I do remember my dreams, I can't stop thinking about them all day. And I'm like, now I'm wasting my time thinking about something that doesn't even exist. Like...
I had one the other day where I was like on the stage of my...
I'm sorry, I have to move my chair closer to the front because my hair keeps getting caught in these sequins and it's driving me bananas. Okay, continue. Okay, you had a dream.
I had a dream and it was like we were on the stage of my high school theater and there was like a ton of people and everyone was sitting on the stage, like not in the audience. And Mino was there, like in the crowd, and we were trying to figure out like, can we get closer to him? Can we talk to him? I don't know if I want to talk to him. And then a girl came up to us and was like, oh my God, are you the host of Ask Me About K-Pop? And we were like, oh yes, we are. And she asked if we had any buttons on us and I didn't have any buttons on me. And I said, oh shit, I don't have any buttons. And she had like her mom behind her. And when I said, oh shit, the mom got like very disappointed and like took her daughter away. And then I was like, oh no, am I a bad person? And then I like woke up like worried about our explicit K-pop podcast and that like
every single episode is rated explicit. It's true. It's probably my fault mostly, but whatever. It's fine. That's so funny. One of my most vivid K-pop dreams also involved Mino. And it was like, we were at KCON, but he was there, and like there was like a portion where we were like sitting in like some room that had like a bunch of booths and stuff, and like a bunch of idols were there, like a lot of EXOs and stuff and whatever, and like we were sitting in a booth with like a bunch of people and Mino, and then like I like walked him like to his next like event or something, and like walking down the convention hallway like with Mino was like the most vivid part of the dream. And literally every time we go to KCON and we walk down the hall where all of the events are, I'm just like, I have walked here with Mino before. And like, I haven't, but I have.
But the weird thing that always happens in my K-pop dreams, and I don't know if people like also experience this, is that like one that I can remember is like in a similar like KCON, we ran into WJSN in the hallway.
Oh, okay.
And we're like talking to them and it was like, oh, let's take a picture. And whenever I go to take a picture on my phone in my dreams, either the phone doesn't work or we take the picture and I go to show it to someone later and it's gone.
Find it.
Like, I can never prove that this happened because my dream is like, it didn't happen, so you can't tell anyone.
Rude.
It's very rude. All right, next up, here we go. I consider myself an XOL.
Okay.
But I have to admit that I very often forget Sehun. It is probably a mix of unfair line distribution and his personality that is just so forgettable.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Poor Sehun.
I will make a confession. We usually forget that Dio is a member of EXO.
It's true.
Like, I can think of several times where we've been like listing them and we're always like, I'm short one. And I always forget about Dio.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to Dio. He's an important member of EXO.
He's a very important vocalist. He's like one of the main voices of EXO.
But yeah, I don't know.
But I think in like a similar way to Sehun, in that their personalities, when in a group like EXO that has such big personalities, quieter personalities like Dio and Xiumin and Sehun can just kind of skate on by. And Sehun in particular doesn't do shit outside of EXO.
True.
So like, I think that's totally fair to forget that Sehun exists outside of EXO.
He's on your sweatshirt, though.
He sure is.
We're wearing matching sweatshirts.
I made them one Christmas. I spent actually several days, and I just sat here in front of my window playing EXO concerts and hand painting
Look how beautiful they
these
are.
fucking sweatshirts.
I wore this last year when we recorded a live CBB episode, and the
Comedy Bang
Bang, the pedal steel player, Mark McConville, he's great. He plays with my band sometimes, and I was wearing this sweatshirt, and he asked me if this was Casey Musgraves.
Oh,
Because of the
the
boots and the long hair, and I was like, no, it is Hyuna, but I totally could get why you think it might be
Absolutely.
Casey Musgraves.
Sometimes I think about this sweatshirt because I was never fully satisfied with the color that I made the ocean.
Oh, I love that part. I
Oh,
think
okay,
that
good.
turquoise part is truly like this turquoise and this pop of hot pink is like my favorite part.
Okay,
of it.
good. I'm glad because I honestly, I started to paint the ocean and I was like, I don't like this color, and I painted it over and over and over again, and I was like, it's so much brighter than everything else. So then I added the pop of this, and I was like, maybe it balances out, and then I added the pink flowers.
I love it.
Okay, good. Because I was super overthought it. What's next?
All right, next confession. This one looks slightly longer.
Yay!
Okay, here we go. I was on the dating app OkCupid last year,
One I have never used.
and I saw a picture of an attractive guy who said that he was in Queens. I noticed that he looked a lot like Jungkook from BTS, but he only had one picture, and it wasn't from a photo shoot or anything like that, so I thought it could be an actual real person. And I want to clarify that I did not think this was actually Jungkook, just a guy who looked like him. We matched, but he never messaged me. A few weeks later, I was scrolling Instagram and I saw the exact same picture on a Jungkook fan account. It was from Bon Voyage 4 when they were all dressed casually. Anyway, I'm glad I didn't get catfished by whoever that person was in Singles of New York City. Watch out!
That's so funny. I kind of thought that this confession was gonna go I matched with Jungkook. And that would have been super fun.
That would be fucking hysterical if the members of BTS were hiding out on OkCupid.
Yeah.
No one will believe it.
Because wasn't it wasn't Mino a Tinder spokesperson or something in Korea, or I feel
somebody did a Tinder commercial.
I
or
think
something.
it was Mino or someone, I don't know. I think Mino talked about being on Tinder or something like that, and I just can't imagine, because here in the US there's a special dating app for celebrities. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh my god, what is it called?
I can't remember, but it's
it's
something like that. Something like that.
We're clearly not.
It
famous
starts
enough.
with an A or whatever. Yeah, I'm not famous. We're not. I'm not on that.
Raya.
Yes, it's Raya.
Invite only.
Yes, it's invite only, and it's for the celebrities or whatever. And celebrities always in their Vogue interviews are yes, I'm on Raya, whatever, and they're always embarrassed about it or whatever. But yeah, I've always thought that would be so funny to just match with an actual celebrity or something. I just think that would be hilarious. But look out for those catfish. Be careful. Online dating is treacherous.
Sure,
I don't recommend it.
All right, this one says, anytime I see anything tiger print, I immediately buy it because I am so passionate about the Horanghe agenda. Hoshi, I love you. Similar to our one from the last episode.
Yeah.
I am always down for making your style or personality or whatever based on the idols that you love. That's the best thing, to see something and be this reminds me of the person I love the most, and so I'm gonna get it.
Oh yeah, or Minghao is my fashion idol and my fashion icon, and I have not only so many outfits that are strangely similar to clothes that he actually owns, but just a very similar, I just like naturally like had a similarly like androgynous style that like matched the kind of way that he dressed. So I like love like looking at him and being like, ooh, how did you put these things together? Like, how can I put those things together in a certain way? Like, my V8 fashion project is one of my favorite fucking things. I think it's great. Like, I love it. And I still have an album, like, I still have ones that I'm like, ooh, I can recreate this. Like, and I'm constantly collecting, like, photos of him that I'm just like, I have clothes like this.
All right, next up, we're still on the fours. I had a dream last year.
I had a dream
that I bumped in to Kim Mingyu from 17.
He's so slutty right now.
In a cafe in Seattle.
Love it.
For the record, I've never been to Seattle.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And the cafe was entirely unfamiliar, but this dream was quite vivid.
Ooh.
In this dream, I spoke fluent Korean.
Love it.
I was able to shoot my shot with Kim Mingyu.
Hell yes.
We ended up speaking for a while. He agreed to meet me again.
I
took that dream as a prophecy because right before I woke up, I saw a calendar for some years in the future, and I've had prophetic dreams before.
Oh.
Since having that dream, I've gone back to college and I'm studying Korean as my major. I have it in my head that once I have hit a point of conversational fluency, I'll know it's the time to visit Seattle and scope out every cafe to find the one from my dream. And maybe fate will bring me and Mingyu together. Who knows? I love this. I love this. I love this.
To your dreams coming true.
To your dreams. To your dreams. I love this. I love that even at the very least that this dream has inspired you to change your life and go, like, that's fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's fun. And also learning, I mean, majoring in another language is a great idea. Like, I wish that I had studied linguistics for sure. I love learning languages.
That's one of my, like, you know, like, oh, have you ever, like, in a crazy fantasy movie, like, woke up and you were 12 again or whatever? Like, I would get into K-pop and start studying Korean sooner because trying to learn, it's been so bad. I've been trying to learn Korean for like 7-8 years now. And I feel like I hit walls all the time because I'm 35 years old and my brain...
You're still 34.
I'm 34 for like 6 more weeks. But my brain just can't. It's so hard to just... And if I had gotten an earlier start, maybe I could have
it's always like, you know, oh, if you had a genie, like, what would your wish be? Like, I would want to be fluent in these 5 languages.
Right.
Like, that is my first wish. Or even to just be, I want to be fluent in every single language. Like, I love learning languages. I have 3 sentences in Mandarin. That's it. That's all I got.
It's something. Give us the one about the French people at the table.
I think I don't remember it correctly, but it's so we met up with our dear friend Yusong once, who is Taiwanese, and his parents speak Mandarin, and he told me, he was like, oh, I have like a 4-year-old's grasp on Mandarin, and I was like, okay, here are my 4 sentences, what do you think? The first 3 sentences, he was like, great job, he totally understood them. It was, 我是美国人，我喜欢中国，你喜欢吗? Which means, I am American. I like China. Do you like it?
Those are great sentences to like.
你喜欢吗? Do you like it? And then
if they come and take over, you can be like, I like China.
That was exactly what I said. I was like, anyone, my FBI agent knows I like China.
I like China.
我喜欢吗? And then my other sentence was, let me see if I can remember it.
Be like
I don't
Penny
think
in
I
Happy
remember
Endings
it.
and get drunk and have the language.
The
come
language,
out of
I really don't think I remember it. I was like, it was Zaga. Oh shit, I can't remember how to say the people. I can't remember it. But I remember, it was those French people are drinking wine. Zaga 法国人在吃酒. And when I said that to Yusong, he said, "There's a hot air balloon?" And I said, "No, those French people are drinking wine." And he said, "Oh, I bet that comes up a lot in China." And every time my lingo dear gives me some weird fucking sentence, I'm like, I bet that happens a lot in China. Thank you, Yusong.
Thank you.
Love you. What's next?
What's next? All right, next up. This one has emojis in it.
Ooh.
I know everyone online hates this song, but I actually like Sticker by NCT. Crying emojis. I think I mean, it's a good confession. It's a good confession.
I like that you ranked that as being a 4.
A 5!
A 5!
A 5 of embarrassing. I don't think you should be that embarrassed by it because from what I observed, from what I observed as a non-N citizen, it seemed like there was a percentage of people that liked the song ironically or were making jokes about the song. But I definitely feel like there was a huge chunk of people that were like, no, this is good, this is fine, this is great. So like, I don't think it's that embarrassing of a confession.
I think if you
It's a really weird song, but I think in the grand scheme of K-pop or whatever, like
in the grand
liking
scheme of
a weird
NCT,
song is fine.
I feel like if you're already a fan of NCT, it's not that weird to be a fan of Snicker because NCT makes weird fucking music.
Right. And I do think that like
all I
hearing
have to
it
say
a
about that.
bunch on TikTok, like the opening, like super discordant, strange, squeaky beginning, like as a like TikTok sound clip, I was like, you know what? This is fine. Like this is something. This is something.
I'm not on TikTok, so I don't have that experience. I only have the one time I listened to it and was like, what the fuck is this? And then I never listened to it again, so I can't relate. But you do you. Like whatever you like. Who cares? What's next?
All right, we've got another 5, and it looks a little long. Here we
Great.
go. In 2020, when I was bored and on my own, I'd pretend to FaceTime Johnny from NCT to just chat. I'd tell him about the work I was doing and ask about his work and how the other members were. I'd often pretend that Do-young would come in to see him and I'd demand the phone get passed over to him so I could ask Do-young how he was doing. Do-young is my bias at the time. I'm not sure how we knew each other in this fantasy, and I've also never FaceTimed anyone in my life. So I guess this fantasy is we both owned iPhones. LOL.
I like that even though your bias is Do-young, your fantasy is that you're
Talking to
FaceTiming Johnny.
That's really fun to be like, I'm gonna get close to one of his friends.
Yeah.
And then we'll be like, oh, it reminds me so much of like when I was in middle school and you'd go to a friend's house for a sleepover and it'd be like, let's get on instant messenger.
Mm-hmm.
And then you would hope that some other middle school boy was also having a sleepover that night.
Right.
And you'd be like,
Or you
oh,
would
these
know
3
who was
boys
having a
are over
sleepover.
at Ryan's house and like we're gonna ask and be like, can
And
you
I
tell
want
him?
to know who Colin likes.
Can you tell him that I
Ask
like
who
him?
Colin likes.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I love this. Thank you for confessing this. The early 2020 was so hard on all of us, and I'm glad you found a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
That's great.
I often talk to fictional people. It's fine.
It's fine.
I live alone, so gotta fill the airspace somehow.
All right. This one says, I have several funny pictures of TXT's Yeonjun pasted to the passenger side sun visor mirror in my car. So when a passenger has wanted to check their reflection, they would, quote, get Yeonjun. I was in a bad wreck and the car was beyond repair, and every day I wonder if the police and the company, quote, got Yeonjun. That's really good.
That's fantastic.
That's very
I
funny.
love that.
like
I also Yeonjun is my favorite member of TXT, and I love his name as a verb. I love using people's names as verbs.
It's so funny.
To get Yeonjun, that's fantastic. That's so good.
All right, this next one came from a patron.
Yay, we love our patrons.
This is less saucy and more spicy.
Ooh.
But I think
What's the difference between saucy and spicy?
that 99% of K-pop success is marketing.
Mm.
And 99% of marketing is coming from a big label.
Mm.
I think the deck is stacked against groups from small companies who don't happen to catch lightning in a bottle. And I wish that it were good enough to just enjoy the music, but groups will straight up disappear if they don't meet certain metrics of so-called success. And it's made me very pessimistic about K-pop in general.
Mm.
I get everything about this confession. Like, this has nothing to do with K-pop, but just for example, I worked at a podcast network that I loved so dearly, and we were making what I thought was like great entertainment, and it was very funny, and like we were proud of it, but there was always someone in a chair up above that would say, this thing is not making me enough money. And like, it's just, working in entertainment in general is just like really very sad, because most of the people making it and doing it and enjoying it are there for the art and want to see the thing, but there's always somebody that's waiting for the return. And so that's like, I don't know, great shows get canceled and great groups get disbanded, and like, it's just like the sad rub of all entertainment is that someone wants to make money off of it.
And it is rough, I think, lately in K-pop. Like, we talked about this with that guy at KCON about like the monopolization of the companies, and how like, you know, like you started out with these big three, and then we started to get like, with the expansion of K-pop, like smaller companies that were getting to like do stuff like Starship and Pledis and whatever, and then you got these like companies that started to buy out
Kakao and DSP are just like buying
just like,
all the
and like now
companies.
Hybe is like absorbing like all these things, and then some of the groups like don't survive that absorption, and like, not necessarily because the group itself wasn't popular, wasn't making money, but because the company decided that they didn't want to invest in them anymore. And it is always about the bottom line, and that is, I think, it's just like it's a shitty part of the entertainment industry in general.
For sure.
Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Give us another one. Bring us up. Now I'm bummed.
This one says, it's not gonna help your bummer.
Wah.
This one says, I have set myself an age limit because it gives me cringe how the industry sexualizes underage idols.
Sure.
Fully agree with that. Totally understand.
That's fair.
Fully get it. I feel like I have gotten to a point in my age and K-pop fandom that like, I don't know at this point if I'm ever going to like take another group in like ever again, because like now I am too old, and like everyone who debuts is gonna be 17 and like,
yes, that is true. And I also feel like for example, 50/50 came out with a song that I absolutely loved, which is called Tell Me, but that song is very sexual. It's like, the main line is, tell me how you like it with the lights off.
ooh.
And as soon as I heard it, I was like, fuck, this song is so groovy. I love it. It's super sexual though. Like, how old are
they?
these girls? And all of them are 18, but like barely. And I was like, okay, I like partially want to like allow for the empowerment of young women, but also, do you know how sexual this song is?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like conflicted about it. And I think that's reasonable and like good morals.
Yeah.
To be like, I should question this. But yeah, it is interesting being like an aging K-pop fan to like see the evolution of shit, but
because the groups are just Matthew,
they're
McConaughey
just getting
is
younger.
gonna get younger, and we're gonna stay the same age.
No.
Oh,
we get older
and they
stay
the
the
same
same
age.
age.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. That's the truth.
I love my Matthew McConaughey. All right. What's next?
I once had an erotic dream about a member of a very popular boy group. And I won't say who to protect his innocence.
It was your dream.
But they are pirate kings.
Pirate Kings.
80s.
Oh.
80s are the pirate kings, I'm pretty sure.
I was thinking TXT, but that makes sense.
And he wrecked me. I told this little tidbit to my friends, and they've been teasing me ever since. I should have kept it to myself. I'm sorry that your friends can't. I feel like all you need, as a K-pop fan, the thing you need the most is like a friend who will tolerate your delulu and your weird K-pop. Like, you need somebody who will unjudgingly take in your K-pop fandom. I think it's
100%.
important.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that your friends did that. We all have. You can't control your dreams.
You can't control
That's
your
full
dreams.
subconscious, baby.
I don't know if I've ever had an NCT 17 dream about an idol.
An NCT.
That's what I said.
That was a Freudian slip I made in the Kim Porsche recaps. I kept saying NCT
instead of
17.
NC.
No, I literally was like, this show is rated NCT 17, and I was like, no, that's not what it is. And so now I just say it on purpose. Okay.
But I have never had an NCT 17 rated dream about a K-pop idol. I don't think.
I have. And they're never, it's always like, not, it's all,
We don't have to talk about it. It's not our K-pop confessions, it's your K-pop confessions. What's the next
we might
one?
save ours for the Patreon only part of this. Okay, anyway.
I make no promises.
No promises. That's fair. All right, we got another long
Ooh, a long one, and this one's another one from our patrons.
This is
Let's go.
maybe the last one for this episode. Okay. I usually say that I got into K-pop in 2017.
Okay.
Because that's when I really figured out what was going on and discovered a whole bunch of groups.
Okay.
But for a year before that, I was a fan of one K-pop group alone, Blackpink.
Okay.
I had found them through a Tumblr fashion blog pre-debut and got really excited about their debut. I searched out everything I could find about them and watched their music videos, stages, interviews, and so on. But the embarrassing part is that throughout this process, I believed every bit of Delulu lore fan theory idea that came out about them.
Oh.
I thought they were the first girl group to have international members, the first girl group to have a perfect all kill, which I didn't even understand at the time, the only girl group who could speak English. I bought into all the hyperbole about their creation. It was a miraculous, things just fell into place, they were discovered in unlikely places, and they hardly needed any training, etc. It was total crackpot thinking. I didn't talk to anyone online about this at the time, and my friends didn't really know about K-pop or that I liked it. I didn't even know that I liked it. But I told all my friends about how rare and special this group was, that no group had done what they had done. And looking back now, I find it very cringe, and I just willingly accepted all of this internet stories at face value. I'm embarrassed when I think about explaining it to in real life friends that nobody had ever done what Blackpink had done right at debut, no less. Don't get me wrong, Blackpink is a group full of talent and they have really impressive things, but this was deranged thinking. I haven't thought back about it in a while, so thanks for that, I suppose.
You're welcome.
I really love this confession, honestly, because I think this confession is like one of the greatest driving factors to me in doing our podcast, is that I think that so much of like fandom lore is like based on like no one's ever done this before, and I want to show through our podcast that like people have been doing this shit for a really long time, you just didn't notice.
Everything you think that hasn't been done before probably
It probably has.
Probably has.
And to me, that's very interesting. Like, not to discredit anybody or say that, like, nobody is special. Like,
Sure,
I
of
just
course.
think that it's interesting that it's always been happening. Like,
Yeah.
there's a tweet that I think about, like, all the time because I just, like, can't get over it, where somebody was like, crying and complaining about like BTS had to sleep in bunk beds. Baby, everybody
Bitch,
sleeps
everyone
in bunk
sleeps
beds.
in bunk beds.
Like that's
Have you never seen the 17 dorms when they fucking were in training? There were 4 people in one room because they had double bunk beds and do you know how many people were in that training room? Everyone sleeps in bunk beds, baby.
So it's just
Everybody.
like the point is that like it's all part of K-pop and that like everybody is working against the like exact same like shit to try to make it and be big and whatever. And like that's all I ever want to put forward with this show is that like everybody is like walking the like same path and some people find more success than others, but like things like everybody sharing a room or having members who don't speak English or members who do speak English, like these are things that have always happened.
Totally.
And
I mean, which is not to say that Blackpink like hasn't set records or done things
they've
that
done crazy
groups
shit.
have never done before, which is absolutely true. Like Blackpink has absolutely set the bar in a lot of different categories. But yeah, I like that confession a lot. I like it.
all right, this is our last 5
Great, so we're gonna finish this episode out. This one. Last 5, then we're gonna ramp it up.
When I went to visit my new school before the semester started, I tried to convince my parents to let me fly to the US to go to KCON instead of starting school. I don't know why I thought that would work.
I applaud the effort.
It's
I
good to
applaud
try.
the effort. I mean, was your school in LA? Like, was it a reasonable flight or something? Or
I'm
like, was your
guessing
school in New
probably
York
not.
and that's why you wanted to go to KCON?
I mean, the fact that they said fly to the US makes me think this person is somewhere
international
very
in
far
general. Yeah, that's super funny. It would be funny if they were like going to school in Texas and they were like, you should fly me to KCON LA. Like, those are not the same places.
Well, I'm sorry that it didn't work out. I'm sorry that we missed you. I hope that someday you go to college, you make your big kid money, and you come to KCON, and we'll see you there.
Yeah,
I believe in
come
you.
and meet us. Absolutely, absolutely. But also, you don't have to go to college.
I'm a dropout, baby.
I have a master's degree, and I will tell you to your face, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to undergrad. You don't have to go to grad school. I'll be paying my student loans off till I'm 75. Like, you don't have to go to college. You don't have to do it. Be a carpenter.
Figure it out, man.
I wish I had done that.
I should have gone to trade school. I should work on air
should've.
conditioners. I'd make lots of money.
God, I wish that I had gone to trade school. Like, I honestly do. I would rather be a costumer. I would love it. I would love it.
Running under the sewing machine.
Would fucking love it. I'm gonna do it all on my own, like make my own dress form and shit, and sew our own curtains and etc.
Y'all will see them. They're gonna be beautiful.
You'll see the things I make. Don't go to college. I'm a teacher, and I'm telling you, don't go to college. No, go to college. Whatever. Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. College is fun. I don't regret going to college. I don't regret going to grad school either. I learned so much, and I love learning things. But it's very expensive, and it's not for everybody. Don't feel bad if college isn't for you. That's my message.
Great.
My message.
Cheers to that. That's the end of the second episode of these goddamn confessions. We are already clearly getting very drunk. We have to do 2 more of these. So stay tuned for episode 3 next week. We're getting into level 6, 7, 8 of confessions.
And the secondhand embarrassment will be ramped up.
I'm
Let's
terrified.
go.
Thanks for watching. We love you. See you next week. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.